Now that we're officially in the midst of 2026, it's as good a time as any to look back and reflect on the distant past and dive into the ancient times of 2025. For one thing, 2025 was a pretty big year for anime movies. We got Chainsaw Man hyphen the movie colon Rezayark. We got Demon Slayer colon Kimetsu no Yaiba hyphen the movie colon Infinity Castle fuck. We got 100 meters. And way, way, way more, especially if you add on the shows that came out too. Like, way more. Jesus. But if that's still not enough for you, why not open your eyes and brain and ears and other various sensory organs to a country across a little bit of water and that's kind of shaped like a chicken if you squint? It's China. I'm talking about China. You saw the video title, you know I'm talking about China. If you're at all wired in on the international filmosphere, you've probably at least heard of Ne 2, since it absolutely stomped the box office and became the highest grossing animated film of all time. As of this video, it's still holding on strong to that title. And honestly, it's kind of a banger, I can't lie. Of course, box office success isn't a meaningful metric in terms of movie quality, and quality of cinema, like any other form of art, is subjective anyway, but like, you know. I do believe there's merit behind Ninja 2's financial accomplishments. On top of having sequel power fueling it and releasing during the holiday season, it's really just like a good time. So, what is Ninja 2, directed by Zhaozi, the director, not the food, actually about? I won't waste your time with a prolonged summary. All you need to know is that this sequel follows a reinterpretation of the Chinese mythological figure Ne through his trials and tribulations among the conflicting dragon clans and celestial forces. Exceptional animation paired with fantastic fight choreography already makes it an exciting enough watch with its attention to detail and fluidity of motion. But, big but, what am I doing? What am I doing, man? The way it improves upon the first movie in pretty much every way makes it a satisfying watch in that regard, too. The plot setup is more dynamic in the sequel, feeling less like a standard and straightforward, but still serviceable outsider seeks acceptance story, and more like a proper exploration of the elements and dynamics of this world that are truly unique and engaging. Emotional beats were harder hitting than in the original too, and it wasn't afraid to veer into surprisingly dark territory with its narrative. I know, I know. How could they let this happen in a kids' movie? Are they nuts? Blah blah blah, trite commentary, I know. I'm not saying it's like shock factor edginess appeal or whatever. I'm just saying the territory it veers into in terms of its stakes allows for more dramatic emotional moments. Okay, I also just looked it up and apparently it's actually rated PG-13, so I guess it's more like for teens and not really a quote unquote kids movie. Whatever, I don't know. What was I talking about? Right, the ways Ninja 2 improved upon its predecessor. Jokes? Also better in the sequel. Spoilers, but a guy drinks piss at one point. Super classy comedy, very highbrow stuff. You wouldn't get it. And you know what else? It was just plain hype as hell. Sometimes all you need is cool animated magical action scenes with anti-institutional themes and pretty lights and colors. Okay? Okay, cool. Alright, fine. I'm not just here to sing its praises. Ninja 2 is a direct sequel, and when I say direct, I mean direct. It quite literally picks up immediately after the end of the first one, which itself had a kinda abrupt ending, and doesn't really give you a lot of breathing room to catch up. It just throws things at you without even a cursory think fast and expects you to catch. If you can, great. If you can't, oh, it's already throwing something else, and fuck. It's as heavy handed as you'd expect such a spectacle focused movie to be, too. If you can swallow it or not, it'll be up to your personal tastes, and the same applies to its sense of humor. It's on the longer side when it comes to animated movies, too. At nearly 2.5 hours, you might end up feeling it here and there. Still, if any movie had to hold on to the highest grossing animated film of all time title, I'd be hard pressed to be disappointed if it's Ninja 2. I mean, like, what else was even up for contention on that front anyway? 2019's The Lion King? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Mr. President, another sequel has hit the towers. Directed by MTJJ and Gujie, The Legend of Hei II follows the titular Xiaohei and Luye, two spirits that are apprentices to the human Wuxian, as they journey to discover the truth behind the attacks on the spirit world that their master has been accused of. And also Nuja is there, and he has a Nintendo Switch. This is very important to the plot. The Legend of Hei II, like Nojatsu, is another feast for the eyeballs. Incredibly fluid animation with aesthetically pleasing art direction and charming style, fun character designs even for blink and you'll miss it background dudes and dudettes, and some fantastic action set pieces all combined to make a movie that just feels good to watch, you know? Also, it's just like extremely cute. Like, hello? Not to be a victim of capitalistic marketing, but a cat plushie of Xiaohei would complete me, I think. I could finally become someone worth something. If only I owned the right product. Seriously, if you watch this movie just to see the cutest catboy kid do cute catboy kid things, you wouldn't be disappointed. Though, if that's really all you were looking for, the first movie would probably be more up your alley. Fortunately, The Legend of Hei 2 also has engaging relationship dynamics and developments beyond the catboy kid just being cute. It all ends up feeling quite sweet by the time you reach the end, especially if you're big into found family sentimentality. Also, Ninja plays the Nintendo Switch. This is still very important. One major strike I'll give this movie, though, is that for all its setup and world building, the story itself feels pretty meandering and like it's not really doing anything. Like, just to make a quick and easy comparison here, Ninja 2's story felt like things were actually shifting and changing within the world, while The Legend of Hei 2 suffers a bit from not quite having that same quality. And also, if I can be completely honest, it maybe also suffers from having a few too many fight scenes purely for farming aura. And like, yeah, you could argue that that's part of the point The Legend of Hei 2 is trying to make, the sort of bittersweet nothing really changes bit, not the aura farming bit, but it still makes for a less engaging experience as a whole. Plus, keeping in mind what the first movie explored, I wouldn't say this franchise as a whole handles its man versus nature and spirit prejudice themes super well. Still, while the plot development was underwhelming, the character development still offered something to hold on to as a through line. And again, it is just like nice to look at. I kind of see it like this. While the first movie had a simplistic charm going for it, this sequel has Ninja playing the Nintendo Switch. And here we are, making a stop at the final major animated film release from China in 2025. We are not talking about Boonie Bears. If you haven't heard of Journey to the West, you've probably at least heard of Sun Wukong. And if you haven't heard of Sun Wukong, look at this man. Do you know this man? Then you know Sun Wukong. Okay, enough being facetious. Nobody, directed by Ilya Naishuler, is about Saul Goodman going apeshit, and Nobody, directed by Yu Shui, is the movie I'm actually here to talk about. Back to the topic of Journey to the West and how it relates to Nobody. Some famous monks and pilgrims and whatnot are journeying west. Oh, that's why it's called that. To retrieve the scriptures of Buddha. These bad boys grant immortality, and four scheming Yaoguai, mythological demon beast things basically, decide to scam their way into no longer fearing death by pretending to be Tang Senzang and his cohorts and getting to the scriptures first. Basically, it's a movie about the power of fraud and faking it. Maybe even faking it till you make it? First off, I gotta say, I do love a good scheming, conniving fraudster of a man. Demon. Thing. In fiction! Do not try to scam me in real life. I will be very sad. Really, though, the main cast is unique, dynamic, and fun to watch. It's great to see these guys doing their best to come across as the monks they claim to be, as well as how they grow and change throughout the movie. This movie's sense of humor is also something that lines up greatly with my own. If you're into that sort of meta, kind of self aware comedy, you'll probably have a good time with the jokes that nobody's got lined up. Hey, wait, nobody's on stage. Who's telling the jokes around here? Hold for applause. Thank you. Like the other two films discussed, there's also some truly stunning animation on display here, and it's just a delight to get to see on screen. On top of that, I feel pretty confident in saying that Nobody's got the most unique style of the three as well. As the only truly and fully standalone film of this Chinese film trio, unless you want to count the entirety of Journey to the West as supplemental reading, I guess, There's something to be said and something to appreciate about the fact that nobody commits fully to its one story and leads you towards a firm conclusion. It also has a lot going for it that feels unique to itself, making it more of a one of a kind experience than the other two. Though nobody feels very realized in its story and thematic exploration, its pace and execution has its share of clunky moments here and there. It definitely takes a bit to get going, and the action climax, while very fun, feels a bit tonally dissonant. Still, this one might just be my personal favorite of the three. I love fraudsters. In fiction. If we're already talking about animated works from China, I may as well talk about some of the episodic stuff that came out too. While I'm here. We're just hanging out. We're chilling. You're out of milk, by the way. From 2025, I've only personally watched two Chinese animated shows, or Donghua, To Be Hero X and Link Click: Bridon Arc. Not a lot to say about the latter, other than, yeah, okay, I'll watch the third season when it comes out, and holy shit, they made Britain out to be a fucking hellhole, man. Jesus Christ. Never go to London. Worst mistake of my life. The show. As for the former, well, not to repeat myself, but I'm repeating myself. Oh my god, is there truly some insane balls to the wall animation and production value on display here? To Be Hero X, with its movie level visuals, is unbelievably stylish and fun. Beyond that, the most interesting element for me would probably be its world building. Corporate superheroes are interesting enough, but the unique power system really makes it an extra fun setting to explore. As an anthology series, I also think that the thematic throughline of public perception, the celebification of heroes, and corporate manipulation and deceit is engaging, but its pacing suffers a bit from having so many major characters to introduce in such rapid succession, and some emotional beats fall a bit flatter as a result, too. Even some of the action scenes, as impressive as they all are, can feel a bit lacking in narrative weight. If you wanted my opinion, which you do because I'm always right about everything ever, I'd say it's got a very strong start that falls off a bit as we muddle through the middle, but the spectacle of the finale was more than enough to convince me to give its next season a shot whenever it rolls around. I love animation! Yeah! Woohoo! Wahoo! I don't know why I keep trying to have a proper conclusion to these videos. I never know what to do or say other than thanks for watching. So, thanks for watching. Emotional beats were harder hitting than and I'm gonna fucking fun characters. From oh my god.